I had all four kids' DNA tested, and when the results came back, only two were mine. I finally left. What's going on once again, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you are new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Welcome and good to have you. If you are a returning viewer, good to see you again. The consequences of a cheating woman is far more reaching than they can imagine. It's a true devastation to the guy that they're with when a woman cheats on her man. And many times they're just behaving and acting on their emotions and not thinking about the long-term consequences. And in the end, the man who's involved with this woman ends up paying for it. Example, this guy in his story here explains how he spent 12 years with this woman, and after 12 years, they said their goodbyes because of her cheating and the consequences of that. Let's get into it. So, I'll just say this starting out. If your gut tells you they are cheating, they are. Now, I'm talking about when you are sick to your stomach that you can't eat, kind of telling. I should have listened. So, me, 48, and my ex, 32, didn't so much like each other when we first met. I was at that time a foreman at a rather large construction company. And at that time, she was dating an acquaintance of mine, and that's how we met. She had just graduated high school, and I was single, but dating a couple ladies. So, one fine, hot as hell afternoon, I was ripping in to a flagman for being a dumbass. I heard, "Look out, boss." As I spun around to my left, I see my ex putting on eye makeup while driving through a very busy construction zone. After I got done with the dumbass, I called the acquaintance and told him how effing stupid his girlfriend is. And then he stated we broke up. I said, "Oh, okay," and then hung up. Seconds later, he texted me her number and told me, "Here you go, tell her ass off." Well, I didn't. I called and ended up asking her out, and she wasted no time telling me yes. Didn't take very long, and we were effing every night, and I stopped effing with all the other girls. Couple months later, she's pregnant and said it may or may not be mine. I stayed anyways. Well, sir, that is your mistake. You should have gotten a test right then and there. We got married and had three more children over the next 12 years, all boys. Around year 6 to 8, I started getting this bad feeling, and it would not go away, but I ignored it. Bad idea. You know what? It is a bad idea because if you're with someone and all of a sudden, this many time you spent together, and suddenly you're getting this feeling about her, and yeah, man, you should have definitely checked that out. You should have definitely investigated what's going on. So I put that on you. He says, to cut this short, turns out she had been effing around a lot over the years, but it really amped up when I graduated paramedic school and started working them 48 and 72-hour shift. She came clean a couple years ago about one of her escapades, and I should have left again, but I stayed. The last 3 years have been a living nightmare, and I had enough. So here's the thing. You met this girl through one of your acquaintances, whom essentially she had no idea how you got her number. You didn't ask for it, but suddenly you called, and she ended up going out with you, and shortly afterwards, you guys started effing. Was that not a red flag to you at that very moment that you shouldn't have taken her seriously? And even after that, you're getting this bad feeling, and still you stayed. And still, again, she told you in the beginning of the relationship that the baby she's carrying may or may not be yours. Yet again, you stayed. And now you're saying you stayed after she told you about her escapades. He says, I had all 4 kids' DNA tested, and when the results came back, only 2 were mine. I finally left. Well, good for you, finally. Now, it sucks sometimes, but not all the time. I F whomever I want, and I'm a single dad of 2 kids that are my world. Anyway, for what it's worth, never put yourself through what I did. Not only to me, but them boys of mine. Once you've been cheated on, it never leaves your mind. And it's not fair that you do that to yourself. And the dating today isn't that bad once you heal a little. Well, it's a sad thing you had to go through this, but again, you had the signs even from the very beginning. You still ignored all the signs. Is it sucked? Yes, absolutely. But you learn. Eventually, you walked away from this woman, you recouped and recovered. And I keep telling you this, fellas, trust your gut. Start getting this gut feeling. Trust your gut. Investigate. Look around. There's always something going on. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Check it. Let's check out this comment and then we'll wrap it up from there. This comment is badly written, so if I make a mistake, just bear with me. I'm trying to make the best I can out of what he says. So if you did not capture everything he said in that comment, it's badly written and I made the best that I could out of it. Been there, my man. I have been thinking a lot lately, wondering if my daughter is actually my daughter. Just because about a year before she said she was pregnant, we were just dating. I caught her with some effing guy at her house at midnight. I was on my motorcycle and pulled in the back alley so I wouldn't wake everyone up. Rolled up behind her car, and they were in her car, her tops off, boobs hanging out, and some mother effort playing with them. They must have just gotten there. I had my right hand was broken in a cast. Pulled this guy out of the window with one hand. Couldn't punch this effing head, so I'm kicking him in the face at the same time. Really, I shouldn't have beat his ass up, but I had seen him around a few times. He knew we were together. I pulled him out, and he falls to the ground and stand up. This guy was like 6'2", and I'm only 5'7". He takes off running down the road. I looked her up, and she was running straight at me with a pistol. So I leave. I should have dumped her right there, but anyway, I think my daughter may not be mine after putting timelines together. I don't know if I should test her now. It really wouldn't make a difference now. Just because she's an adult with kids of her own, I should have just looked at all the females in that family. I would have been smart to call it quits. Her mom cheated, married 5 times. 2 of those times were to the same guy. I don't know why he took her back after 20 years. Her sister cheated on both her husbands. One was my friend. Then my ex-wife cheated 2 times that I know of, but could be more. Well, so you had many examples to draw from. And just like the way we all are, the human error, the human factor, the mistake that we make, we still proceed forward. Once again, thank you for checking out the video. Comment below, let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, like the video on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.